So this is where the fun stuff begins, because now with our server backend, we can create some dynamic code. So just to simulate some kind of dynamic response here, I'm going to output the date. But this could very well be an interaction with your database, pulling back data from your database and just echoing it out. So if you're not familiar with PHP, this is very basic and straightforward, where we're using echo, and what echo does is it essentially prints out content. So if I was to actually go to this PHP page, so if I go to data.php, we just see that the date is currently being printed out. So I'm going to go back to that index page and refresh it. Let's go into our HTML, and I'm going to update this to that new source file that we're going to be making the connection with. And instead of actually console logging out the response, maybe we're going to output it within our HTML code. So document get element by ID, and we've got that output element that we're going to target right now and output content into it. So inner HTML, and maybe we'll keep it as HTML and equal it to that response text. So let's just see what happens now. When we refresh it, we click it, and we get the current date, and we get the time as it's incrementing. So now that we've shown you that initial interaction with the server, we're going to take this one step further, and in the next lesson, we're going to actually send some data over to that server. And it's going to also be really straightforward and easy to do, and it's just going to make a lot of sense. So we're going to send over maybe some information from our web page. So maybe we just make up a variable or create an input field and send that input field data over to the server and then return it back into our JavaScript. So do a full loop of the data right from our HTML page to our server, and then from our server back to our HTML page. So that's coming up in the next lesson.